story of the Dogman goes back in the Appalachians hundreds of years. It originally started outside of Michigan, where a group of individuals ran into this creature that looked like a wolf that started on all fours but contorted its body into an upright position. Now, they described this thing as having glowing red eyes, the torso of a man, but the head of a wolf. And when it screamed like a man would. Which, if you think about it, it's kind of funny. But at the same time, these stories go back hundreds of years. Now, my grandmother grew up in West Virginia, and when I was a kid, she used to always warn me about going out into the woods because she was worried that I was going to encounter a creature like the Dogman. So recently, I've actually been receiving a lot of emails from people talking about personal encounters with this creature. I had an individual who asked me not to be named reach out to me and talk about a encounter that she had in Obed. So I decided I was going to head out on the trail and see what I could find. Alright, so the location where I'm at is in Obed. So there is a lot of history here. This area was known for spider web. Sorry. There's a lot of coal that comes through here, that comes from here, rather. There's a lot of just beautiful natural resources here. And it was Native American land. So they do find a lot of artifacts through here, which is really cool. And there is the Nemo Tunnel, which is pretty famous for being haunted, actually. I've been there, I've filmed there a couple times. It's really hard to film in that tunnel because of all the moisture. So, but I got some really cool EVPs there. I've seen the, what was it? The REM pod go off just in sync with questions. So it's really cool. I mean, this area is just amazing. I absolutely love this. So, there was another encounter with the Dogman that happened outside, or I'm sorry, in Wisconsin. And it was a pretty famous case because it happened with two boys. They were out, being boys, and they were running around in the woods. They were, just having fun. I think they were shooting BB guns or something. And then all of a sudden, one of them came upon this wolf that they thought it was. And all of a sudden, the wolf-like creature went from 4 legs, and they said that its joints started like popping in like a weird, like contorted way, and it stood up on 2 legs and started chasing them through the woods. And so there was 2 accounts of it. which was pretty fascinating to me, because a lot of these encounters that you hear of are from just a single person claiming to have seen a creature like this. Now, to me, I don't see why we wouldn't have another type of creature like that out here. Now, obviously, canines are like pack animals, so I would assume that it would survive better. But then again, this is a cryptid who turns and walks on two legs. So, I don't know. And there is, if you look throughout history, there is so many different types of stories about this freaking thing. It's really amazing to me. Man, check that animation out. So cool. So cool. So obviously, you know, you have the skinwalker, which there are accounts seen of this thing all the time, of a, you know, a man that transitions into a wolf, but in this case it's the wolf transitions to a man. But I would imagine if you were going to be encountering one of these things, it would be pretty easy to get them mixed up. Huh. Those are weird tracks. Don't see any footprints. Huh. So out here, there's also sightings of Bigfoot or Sasquatch. So, whatever the encounter is, all right, so throughout all kinds of different cultures, there excuse me, throughout all kinds of different cultures, there are sightings and representations of a wolf-like creature, such as a werewolf, or the skinwalker, or in this case, the Dogman, which is a creature that resembles like a dire wolf. So they're pretty big creatures, but they can transform their bodies from going on all four legs to just their back hind legs. So this is really weird to me. I'm going to try to collect as many samples as I can, because I've never seen any type of fur that is like this. So as I'm walking down this trail where this lady had this encounter with this creature, I look down and I find this huge strap of fur. And at first I think about it and I'm like, that's probably a hog, because it's East Tennessee. We've got hogs here. That's nothing normal. But as I looked around, typically when you find a deceased hog, you're gonna find its skull, its rib cage, its hind legs, because these are big animals. So when they pass away from natural causes, you're most likely going to have the vultures will come in, they will do their thing, nature does its natural cleanup. However, there's usually something left. In this case, there was absolutely nothing left. There was just this big strap of weird fur that is so coarse that I have never experienced anything like it before on any of my adventures. It really fascinated me. And because this was so close to a recent encounter with this Dogman creature, I think I actually might have my first piece of real cryptid evidence.
Yeah, see, you can still see the blood in it, which is really weird. I'm trying to preserve as much as I can. But I don't know. I mean, like, I've never seen anything like this. And I'm pretty far kind of away from civilization. Not really. There's a lot of four-wheeling trails. There's a lot of different like outdoor activities that can be done here, but also that's who put me out here to come look, is because they had a sighting. Now this is the second sighting that I have received notification about. I had another one, and it was in South Knoxville, and again, it was near a water source, on hundreds of acres of land, where it potentially could be some sort of predator. So I don't know. It's really interesting to me, the story of the Dogman. Give you kind of a idea on where I'm at. So, I mean, he very well could be out here. I honestly didn't know much about the Dogman. I'd heard of the hellhound, I've heard of werewolves, stuff like that, but a wolf that transforms into a man, like, or a dog that transforms into a man that's able to, like, contort its body so to stand upright like a werewolf. What? I don't know. So I'm also going to be looking for some bald eagles. So, yeah. There's a cave. Yep, I'm going to go check that out. Hold on. All right. going up here. Oh, oh, look at that guy. I'm not going that direction. I guess I could just knock him down. Sorry, buddy. Get that guy. That'd ruin my day. Along with this guy. Good rule of thumb, out in the mountains, avoid brightly colored mushrooms. Or any type, eating anything brightly colored in the mountains. They're obvious signals to predators that I will kill you. So listen to Mother Nature. Look at that. That's cool. That is a cave. I think. That's pretty amazing. Sorry, I'm breathing so heavy. I definitely think some kind of creature could live in here. Whether it be the Dogman, I don't know. But looks like there's a nice little overhang up there too. I don't think anything will be down in here. Walk around this side. So I'm way up here now. Let me walk up here. Ugh. Somebody's been drinking beer up here. That's for sure. It's kind of weird. Ow! Ah, that hurt. Alright, so behind me you can hear there's a four-wheeling trails. These trails go for miles and miles back through here. And there's a bunch of four-wheeler people coming through right now. If you can see their lights. So this area is, I mean, I'm out here on a Saturday, so you know, it's going to be a little bit more crowded than usual. But it always kind of interests me that beer cans make it up here. I don't really know how that happens. I guess it could be washed down from way up there. I don't know.
So far, I have not been able to identify where these hairs are from. I've spoken with an entomologist, and he has been able to rule them out that it's not some sort of insect. I've talked to a biologist. He's really unsure. He took some samples and is going to be sending them out. They're not from a bear, they're not from a hog, or they're not from a river otter. So I'm a little bit unsure at the moment, but hopefully we're going to find out, see if maybe it's from an unknown species, maybe it's not from a known species. I don't know. I'm not trying to say that I have evidence of the Dogman, but at the same time, this is super interesting. I want to find out what it is, and hopefully I'll have some answers here soon. Thank you all so much for the support and watching this video. You all are so amazing. I can't tell you how grateful I am to receive the amount of support that I do. I'm doing my best to try to respond to all the comments I possibly can, but I am just one person, y'all, so please bear with me. I promise I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So make sure you hit this video, give this video a like. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel, definitely helps me go search out more interesting paranormal unknown stuff. So until next time.